Hi, and welcome back to Wondering Wild. Today is Wild Wednesday, and we're going to learn all about the barred owl. Okay, so the barred owl has the scientific name Strix varia, and it's part of the true owls group. So there are two groups of owls, the true owls and the barn owls. And the main difference between these two groups is that true owls have a round-shaped face disc, where barn owls have a heart-shaped face disc. And that's how you tell them apart. Now, the barred owl is a large true owl native to North America, but it goes by a bunch of other names, and it's actually most commonly known as the hoot owl due to its really distinctive hooting call that they do during the nighttime, and often two owls will actually call to one another. Here's an example of its call. It's kind of cool, isn't it? Now, other than hoot owl, it also goes by rain owl, wood owl, and striped owl. But here we're going to call it the barred owl, which is its most recognized common name. The adult is 16 to 25 inches tall with a 50-inch wingspan, but it only weighs about 2 pounds. And that helps it with flying and silence. Now, often you probably have wondered, why do owls have face discs? The face disc on an owl is that round portion that surrounds their eyes and beak. Now, what this is used for is actually to funnel sound. So owls don't have external ears, and they use their feathers to tunnel sound where they need to be, which helps them in listening out for the small animals that they hunt for during the night. Now, the barred owl has a pale face with a dark ring around the eyes and a yellow beak and brown eyes. Now, the barred owl is the only true owl of the eastern United States that has brown eyes. Most other true owls have yellow eyes. The upper parts of the owl are a mottled gray-brown color with a lighter underpart. And then on their chest, they have streaking that is horizontal, while on their bellies, they have streaking that is vertical. Now, its legs and feet are covered with feathers all the way up to the talons, and the head is round but lacks ear tufts. Now, the only other owl you might confuse the barred owl with is the spotted owl, but the main difference is on the breast of the bird, the barred owl has the streaking, whereas the spotted owl has spots. But from a distance, sometimes that can be hard to distinguish. Now, these owls breed in dense forests from Canada all the way to northern Mexico. And they often are found in suburban areas where they've actually been known to thrive due to the abundance of small mammals like voles, mice, and even squirrels. Now, in suburban areas, the main threat to a barred owl is cars. And you would think that's kind of strange because one of the things we don't see hit as often by cars is birds. But the reason owls get hit by cars is because at night, when a car is driving down the road, their headlights illuminate the road and often illuminate small mammals running across the road. When an owl sees this from its high perch or wherever it is looking down to hunt, it swoops in for the small mammal directly in front of the car. And this can be a really big problem in suburban areas. Now, in the wild, the only real predator of a barred owl is for the young, sometimes cats, but rarely, and mostly it's just the great horned owl, which is a much larger true owl that sometimes, in very rare occasions, will go after a barred owl. But in all reality, they do not have many known predators. Now, in the past, barred owls have been confined to the eastern United States, and they were stopped from migrating to the western United States by the Great Plains region. However, as the influence of the Native Americans was stopped and their process of burning areas of the Great Plains to maintain those long grass systems, trees have started to sprout up in these areas, creating corridors of forest that the owls can use to travel from east to west. Now, you probably think this isn't that big of a deal, but it is for the spotted owl found in California, Oregon, Washington, and parts of British Columbia. because now a new competitor has been introduced to this owl, and we're starting to find out that the barred owl is really outcompeting the spotted owl, and that's causing a big problem. Now, these owls nest in tree cavities that are often created by pileated woodpeckers, and that's where they're going to nest. Now, when a barred owl nests, they usually have a clutch of about 2 to 4 eggs, and once these young owls have hatched, they're going to fledge within 4 to 6 weeks. Now, the barred owl is mostly a generalist predator, eating voles, mice, and shrews. However, if need be, they will hunt larger prey such as squirrels, chipmunks, and in even rare cases, they've been known to take off a small cat or two. The way that the barred owl hunts is by sitting on a very high perch at night or flying through the woods searching for prey. Now, when their large eyes spot the prey, they swoop down and pick it up with their talons. This is the way that most owls hunt. I hope you enjoyed learning all about the barred owl here today on Wandering Wild. If you have any questions or comments, put them down below. And if you're curious about my sources, they're in the description box. And as always, stay wild and never stop wondering.